Hello friend, Namaskar, I am JK. Today we will discuss with Dr. K. Mohan sir about a question which is in the series of Science and Spirituality. Sir, can you enlighten us about the union of science and spirituality?
Certainly, Mr. J.K. Singh, I would like to throw some light on the union of science and spirituality. Science and spirituality need one another to flourish. One alone is not and never enough. Science is about things which can be measured, and spirituality is about things which cannot be measured. In life, both of these are integrated together. Look at our bodies. We can measure the weight, length, width, structure, and anatomy of the body. But we also have intelligence. How do we measure intelligence? We can do some IQ tests, but we can never really measure how much intelligence we have. Then we have feelings, like love for our friends and family. Can we measure love? So spirituality is about what cannot be measured. We need to measure what can be measured, but we also need to accept the truth that there are dimensions of life which cannot be measured. We can measure matter, but we cannot measure meaning. When I write an article, I can say it is 800 words and will fill on one page. I can count the number of words and I can measure how much space it will take. But the meaning of the words and the quality of the writing cannot be measured. I can feel the meaning and sense it, but I cannot measure it. Words have a physical reality, but their meaning is metaphysical. The law has two aspects, the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. Everything has a physical reality and a metaphysical reality. We have the human body and the human spirit. We need matter and we need spirit. They form one unified reality. One cannot exist without the other. There is no separation or dualism between the physical and metaphysical, or between the material and the spiritual. Science gives us rational, logical, empirical, measurable, and replicable tools and technologies which we need to function well in the spiritual in life. Spirituality gives us love, compassion, generosity, and a sense of mutuality. We need these two. Without the spiritual dimension of values, vision, ethics, and aesthetics, science can lead us astray. When there are no values to guide it, science ends up producing nuclear weapons. If spirituality guided the actions of scientists, then they would think 10 times before inventing weapons of war and other tools of destruction. Although there are scientists who embrace spirituality and work for the good of all, much of science has been in the service of greed, war, waste, pollution, exploitation, and injustice. This must change if science is to serve the interest and needs of humanity and planet Earth. Einstein once said, "Science without religion is blind. Religion without science is lame." If we have no science, then we limp. We can see what is good, but we cannot implement our vision. Therefore, the people of spirit and religion need to embrace science. People who have developed deep spirituality have often been reluctant to address the problems of material world. Things are now slowly changing. But for a long time, Some societies were good at meditation and yoga, philosophy and poetry, but without scientific research and methodology. They suffered hunger, deprivation, and material poverty. So spirituality without science is truly lame. Spirituality and religion without science often give rise to fundamentalism. So science needs spirituality and spirituality needs science. They need each other. And there is no contradiction. There is no conflict between science and spirituality. Science complements spirituality and spirituality complements science. Spirituality gives us vision and values. Science gives us tools and technologies. We need both. This is a realistic, holistic, and inclusive way of thinking in which everything has a place, as long as they are in the right proportion and balance. For example, day and night have the right balance. Even though in summer there are long days and in winter there are long nights, overall there is a balance. The same kind of balance, impulse of faith, is needed between science and spirituality. In order to achieve this balance, people of faith and scientists all need a sort of humility and generosity. Spirituality is about love, not beliefs. Spiritual seekers are always on a journey, on a pilgrimage, seeking truth and enlightenment. There is no place where they can say, I have found the answer. Spirituality is a process, an exploration, not a destination. The same is true of science. It is an ever-evolving quest. Scientists search for the truth. They don't say, this is the end. We have arrived at our destination. There's no more research needed. Unfortunately, some scientists do say, Darwin was the last one. They close their minds and become believers. If you become a believer, you stop using your intelligence and our perception to learn from the world around you and from the experiences that you have. Then you have left the path of science and the path of spirituality. Through science as well as through spirituality, we are always looking for new insights and new wisdom, which can free us from dogmas, rigidities, and fixed beliefs. Science and spirituality, physics and metaphysics, chemistry and compassion, mind and matter can and must dance together.